bring the energy today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is now Tuesday, the day after the NCAAs, so everyone is absolutely positively tired after we watched UNC get beat by Villanova on a last-second shot last night. All in favor of UNC, raise your hand. It's a sad day for you. All in favor of Villanova, raise your hand. It's a great day for you. Here we go. All right, so does everybody have sound, text-to-speech, speech recognizer? Texting we do not need. Okay, so I found out yesterday that we don't need both of these buttons because a student went home on spring break and started coding the share button, and they found out inside of the share button that the share button includes texting and emailing. So guess what we can do now? We can rename this button right here, BTN Text. We're going to rename it BTN Share. And we're going to quickly go to the internet, and we're going to get a green share button. Or I could go to GIMP, and I could open up a share button in GIMP. And where is the share button? There's a share button, okay? So watch this, okay? I can take this, edit this button right here in GIMP, and I can just simply color it because we already have a share button. Okay, there it is. And now what I can do is go to my toolbox. I can go to my paint can, and I can go get a nice color of green. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just painting this in green. Okay. And if you just hit the paint can enough times, it should all fill in. And you can blow it up and fill it in. See what I'm doing? And all I have to do is hit it with a paint can, and it usually goes away. And I have a nice green button. And I kind of like the blue. And I kind of like that too. So now I'm just going to go File, Export As. And here I'll just say this is my green one. Green. Done. Okay. And now I'm done there. I can go back to, did you need it also? Anybody else need the GUI? For today's GUI? It's on there if you need it. If you're behind and you want to go ahead and get it, just go ahead and get it. Just to get you up and running. Okay. All right. So, okay, she has it. You can have it after her. All right. So, where was I? So I'm going to go to my share button. And I'm going to go to my icon, upload it, choose a file. There it is, the green one. It's a nice color green. I like it. Okay. This should go to a share button, and it's green. Very nice. The Green Lantern theme. Very nice, very nice. Okay. All right, so we're ready to start coding this. So let's go to blocks. And the first thing you want to do is let's get our big old button to work. All right. We like big buttons, and we cannot lie. Okay. So in order for us to count, we need to keep track of a variable called myCount. So just think about anytime you are programming, if you want to remember something, you need a variable for it. So like if you're playing Pac-Man and you're keeping score, do you want to remember the score? Yeah, then you need a variable for score. Do you need to remember how many lives Pac-Man has? So you just play without worrying about ever dying? Or does his lives go 3, 2, 1, you're dead? You know? Yeah. So if you're remembering how many lives you have in a game, you need a variable for it. So we go to variables, right? Isn't that neat? If you need a variable, you go to variables. And you go to initialize global variable. Okay? And the global variable, I'm going to call it my count, C-O-U-N-T. And what is my count? Is it a number? Is it letters? What is it? What's my count? If you're counting what? Numbers. So you go into math and you go get a 0. And you're going to say, okay, we're going to start at 0. You guys with me on that? So now you have a variable that's going to remember your count. That's why we called it my count. Okay? So what button should increase the counter? Button count. Very good. So let's go click on button count. And when we click on button count, what should happen to our counter? It should start counting. So mathematically, what you are going to do to it? You're going to make it count. So you're going to add on to your count, right? So we're going to go variables, and we're going to say, okay, set my count to equal, and we need to do some math here, right? We need to add. Okay? We need to add. So you're going to go back and you're going to get my count again. You're going to say, okay, this is going to equal, my count's going to equal my count plus some number. What number do we want to put in there? Let's go ahead and put in a number. And let's put in a 1. And I just added 1 to my count. Now it's happening in memory right now. So we want to display it, right? When they click a button, we want to show them that we're counting by 1. So where did we display the count at? What component is going to display our count? If you're not sure, let's go back to Designer real quick. Let's look. What on here displays the count? Isn't this count 0, this LBL count here, a label to display the count? Are you with me on that? Okay, so let's go back. So now we're going to say, okay, label, show me what my count is. So let's go to set the label text to set the LBL label count text to, right? Right now it's showing count colon 0. So I want it to show count colon 1, count colon 2, count colon 3. Okay, so now we need a string in here. And we're going to use a join. The reason why we're going to use a join is that I have the words count, C-O-U-N-T, colon, space in there. And what we're going to attach to the count is simply what I just counted up here. You guys with me on that? So we're going to go get my variable again, and I'm going to say, okay, go get my count. Okay. Should we play a sound every time we hit the button, so that people know they hit a button? So if you want to play a sound, you just go to sound 1 and say, okay, call play sound 1, and increase this counter. Okay. Now the only problem with sound 1 is sound 1 does not have a sound in it, so it will play nothing, even though you're telling it to play. Right? That's like going to your bank account and saying, hey, I want some money out of my bank account, but it has no bank money in it. Okay? There's no money in your bank. So asking your bank account for money when there's no money in your bank, you're probably not going to get it. Are you with me? So what we would do right now is just go and record a sound. What sound is this? This is Adele. Thank you, Adele. Okay, so we'll go File, New. And we'll just record a sound. Boop. And I'll go back here and play the sound. There's my sound. And then I'm going to erase all this noise. We call this white noise. Roof. Okay. And I can play this. Okay. So now that is playing. And you go File, Export. And this sound will be called boop. Period 1. And I hit save. And I'm not going to go through all that right now for the sake of time. And there's my boop. It just goes boop. Okay, and that's my sound I'm going to make. And then now you go back to your designer. You go back to your sound. And I'll rename this now. This will be called SND. Boop. Okay. And now I can go to my source, upload a file, choose a file, and I should see a sound file in here. And I don't. So let's go back here. And let me go File, Export. And where am I exporting it to? I'm in the wrong folder, that's why. Fluffy Bogey, count me in, and we'll go boop. There's my boop. Sound. There it is. It's in my folder now. Now it's in there. There it is. I hit open. And if it goes in there, then it's good. And now every time I hit the button, it'll go boop, 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 boop. And, you know, kind of like going through the grocery store line. You guys cool when you go through the grocery store line? What happens? They scan it. What happens when they scan it? Boop, boop, right? To let them know audibly, hey, I got the scan. So if you hit the button, it'll go ahead. So now your sound button's working. Go ahead and make any sound you want, or you can go to freesound.org and download a notifier, whatever you want to do there. And all right, so what else is, if you guys want to go ahead, let's go ahead and run this, make sure it works. Connect, AI Companion. Let's connect our companions. And no, I don't want that. I want this. Scan the QR code in. Let's see if this works. No, I don't want that. Yeah, count's going up. I'm at 16. You with me? I'm at 26. Okay, so that's working. I knew it would. We've only done this 16 times 3, or 6 times 3 is 18. This is my 19th time doing this app, so I had a feeling it was going to work. You with me? Your count's working? All right, good. So, yeah, you can get a sound from off the internet. That's fine. Let's go back to blocks. What do we want to do now? Let's do the enable button. Okay. So, when this button is changed, you're going to click on CHB enabled. And checkboxes are like a switch. You with me? Switches don't really care what position they're in. They're either up or down. You're either on or off. And what you do is you flip the switch and you change what state it's in. If it was on and you flipped it, it went to off. And if it was off and you flipped it, it went to on. Does that make sense? So you either have a checkbox and it's checked, and then you uncheck it, and it goes to unchecked. Or it's either unchecked, and you click it, and it goes to checked. How many people understand that? Raise your hands. I don't think it's that hard of a concept. So we have something called CHB enabled.change when you change the state. Okay? So what we have to do here is do an if statement to find out if it is, you know, if it's checked, then do this. If it's not checked, then do that. Are you with me? If the light's on, then turn the light on. If the light's off, then turn the light off. Question. I gave you the right code, so if you have my code in there, it should work. Yeah, just go ahead and that happens to me also. So just go ahead and reset it on your connection. Just go up here again. I do this a lot. I'll watch this. I'll go reset, 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 and then I'll connect, and then it should go through. Okay, you with me? If your images don't go through, remember it's still going wirelessly, even though we think it's going through the USB, it's not. The USB is just plugged in so we keep the device charged. But we're doing this wirelessly, so if it doesn't go over the wire, then just try to resend it back through, and if you do it enough times, it should go through. Okay, so I think we need some logic here. And if, let me go, maybe not. Let's go to Checkbox. So if chb.checked, I don't know. Let me try this. If CHP enabled, no, that's not what I want. So let's go to 1. Is there 1 checked? Yeah, checked. And I don't know here, I don't know, this might make more sense to you if I do this. So if CHP enabled checked is equal to true. So does that make sense if it's checked? Then what do we want the button to do? If it's checked, should the button work? Yes, so enabled means this button's going to work. So we're going to say BTN enabled. Let's look for something called enabled. BTN set enabled to true. Okay. What's my else here? What's my else? If it's not checked, should this button work? If it's not checked, then the BTN count button enabled equals false. Are you with me? The equal is in the logical green. Logic. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if this works. I'm going to go ahead and reset this. And let's see if my images come through this time. And, okay, it's counting, right? And it's checked. Let's uncheck it. Okay, watch this. Will it count? I'm pressing green lantern. Will it count? I'm pressing green lantern. Is it counting? No, it's not. Not counting. Why is it not counting? It's not checked, right? I took the safety up. Okay? So now if I want to count, I got to go back and check it. Now it's checked. Now it counts. Now it beeps. It notifies me, and we're working. Okay? So now somebody, you know, in this process, it's how your brain understands this. Maybe you wanted to put disable in there, right? So if you check it, you disable it. Are you with me? That's just, if you enable something, you can disable something. So, you know, it's just a matter of you and your thinking and your understanding. There is no right or wrong answer, all right? Just as long as your brain understands it, you're good. The big thing is you want to be able to communicate to the user that it's either enabled or it's not enabled. Okay. If you like it better and you wanted to put disable in there, then disable it. Then if it was checked, it would be disabled, right? And then it wouldn't work. And then when it's not checked, then it works. Are you with me? So there's two ways of looking at it. Either the glass is half full or half empty. You know, I always like to think my glass is half full, and then I can put more in it. Okay. All right. What next? What do we have to do next? So the enable button works, the count button works. What about the reset button? Should we go do the reset button? Yeah, let's do the reset button. This is real easy. What should happen when you do hit the reset button? What are you resetting? I'm going to grab these two right here. I'm going to duplicate these because, you know, instead of adding one, what are we going to do to our counter? What should your counter go to if you hit reset? Hello? You guys need coffee today? What should you guys stayed up way too late last night watching that NCAA Villanova game? What should the count? You didn't watch it? Oh my God. What should happen to your count if you hit reset? What should it go back to? 0. So you go to math and you get a 0. And I'm going to say, okay, set my global count to 0 and show the global count. Done. Yeah, I just duplicated these blocks here. See this orange and green one here? Oh, by the way, should we play a sound in there? Yeah, let's play a sound in here also, just to know that we hit the reset button. Or I tell you what, let's do text to speech, right? Don't we have text to speech? Let's don't do a sound. Let's do text to speech. We have Siri in here, or Iris. So let's go text to speech. And Iris can come on. I just had a good idea. My brain's starting to work. And say counter. Counter. We'll say resetting. Counter. Reset to 0. Okay. So now when Iris comes on, let's connect. And Iris should come on and say, counter's been reset to 0.
Counter reset to 0. Counter reset to 0.
Okay. So instead of using a sound, I have Iris come on communicating to you that the counter is being reset to 0. Okay. Any questions about that one? Counter reset to 0. Boom, done. What's next? Remember, you always want to use your GUI as a checklist. So go look at your GUI and what other buttons don't work yet. The share button. So we got to get the share button to work. What else? The voice button. Okay, so I don't know how to do share yet, so I'm going to skip share because I'm going to go into voice. And I'm going to go into my BTN voice. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time here. And I need to do a logical if statement to figure out what I said. And let's put an equal sign in here. And I'm sorry, this is wrong. Okay. When I click BTN voice, I have to call my speech recognizer to start to get the text. And then afterwards, after getting the text, we got to figure out what text they said, right? So if get result is equal to, and we've done this before, right? We did this in the last app. What happens if they say add 1? What would I do if they add 1? Wouldn't I go back up here and just add 1 exactly like I did it here? Okay, so let's duplicate this. Do you see how coding is really like duplicating? Who's understanding this? Is coding really about writing every single line of code? Not really. What do you do most of the time when you're coding? Just duplicate. Okay? So now I can have Siri come on. Where's good old Siri at? Hi, Siri. And I can have Siri come on and say adding 1. What else could you tell them to do in this? Could they say reset? Could they say reset? If they hit reset, what should I do? Or if they say reset, what should I do? What am I resetting? The counter. So have we done that already? Have we reset the counter already? Yeah. So let's go back up here to the reset button. And let's grab all this. Or actually, you can just duplicate all this. And then take the insides out. Delete this little block here. Take these commands out that are in the middle here. And boom, I reset it. Counter reset to 0. Now your voice command works. It's only doing 2 things. You can only add 1, or you can reset it. That's it. Could we say add 5, add 10? Natira, could I say a bunch of other commands? Could I? Yeah, I can. If you want to make this if statement bigger, go ahead, knock yourself out. Add 20, add 100 more commands if you want. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we've already done voice, but who understands what I'm doing? Okay. Okay, what's the last button that doesn't work? Share, email button. Okay. So let's go spend a little bit of time here. I'll be honest with you, I've not shared before. So, okay. So now, if you go back to the directions in our first day of reading this, you know, what the directions were telling us to do. The directions were saying if we get to a certain number, then text or email somebody an alert. Are you with me? So let's just think about putting people in our gymnasium, right? And what happens if our gymnasium, the capacity is 2,000 people, right? And what happens if we get to 1,900 people? We only have 100 people left in the gym. That's pretty crowded, right? So maybe if we get to 1,900, we email or text Mr. Butts and say, hey, 1,900 people in the gym, you can only allow 100 more people in the gym. After that, boom, you've got to stop. Okay? Do we want to do something like that? All right. So then what I can do here is where's my voice command at? Where'd my voice go? Okay. what we can do here is just write a little procedure called um, check my count. Okay. So what we'll do here is we'll write a little separate procedure, and these are great because the reason why I'm doing this is that I only want to write this code one time, not two times. Because if you guys remember here in the voice recognizer, you are adding to the count in the voice recognizer. You're also adding to the count where else? What else is adding to the count? Yes, this button up here is adding to the count. So right here in the button BTN count, you can check my count. And then down here, when you add one, you can also check my count. Are you with me? And now I can come down here and do my check my count. And I can say if mathematically count, if my count, get it, if my count is equal to or greater than, let's say greater than equal to, okay? And in this case, let's just do a test case here. Let's say, test case if we get above 20. Are you with me? I'm just going to put a small number in here, okay? Just because I don't want to click to 2,000. Are you guys with me? I don't want to run my app to 2,000. So if I can get it to run for 20, I can get it to run on 2,000. This is called a dummy variable. This is called a test case, all right? This is like putting that little crash dummy in a car. You guys see when they run those Mercedes into a brick wall and they got the crash dummies in there? Well, 20 is going to be my crash dummy. He's going to try this out for me. Who's with me? Okay. What time we get out of here? 8:07. So we got 6 minutes. I think we can do this. So if we equal or get greater than 20, then we want to go ahead and share this. So let's go hit the share. And let's share a message. And then we'll have to put in a message here. And we'll have to say count has exceeded maximum. We'll say it has reached or exceeded maximum capacity. Do we still have texting in here? And once again, I don't know how this works, so let's say what happens if we click on BTN share. Then we want to go ahead and share. Sharing. We'll do the same thing there. I'm going to go do a little bit of research here, and I don't know if this is doing exactly what I want. So I'm going to go back to my media, and that's not in there. So let's go to social, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to put a texting app in here, and I'm going to put in, here's an email picker. I'm thinking maybe we could do an email picker. in case we want to email this. But that goes in there, doesn't it? Yeah, that goes in there. I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to play with this, you know. Let me go see what texting does now. What would texting do for us? Let's see the capability of texting. When message received, okay, here's Google Voice. Okay, so here it is. Set texting message to, oh, okay, here, text. So here you could like text a phone number. So I think this is what we need. So we want to send a text to, and then we can give it a phone number. And I think, let's see if that works. And I think we can put a phone number in here, 513. We need like a test phone number. Anybody want to anonymously give me a cell phone number we could do a test with? I won't put, we'll never know who it is. Yeah, 513 654. Do you have your phone on you? Okay, that's fine. I don't care. What is it? 680. It's 513-680. 6616. Okay, so we'll set the number to this, and then I think we're going to have to go ahead and text a message, right? And then we'll go here to send the message to, here we go, we'll go here, right? I'm going to duplicate this. I don't know what this share message does either, so I'm going to leave that there. And then here we're going to have to go ahead and send the message. Does that make sense? So you're going to set the phone number to the phone number you want. We're going to set the message to the message that we want, count as reached, and I'm going to say go ahead and send the message to that number. Are you with me? All right, so let's go ahead and run this. And let's see if this works. Do you have your phone on you? Okay. So if I get to 20, you should get a text message. Are you with me? So have your phone out, and let's see if it gets, and then maybe we could have Iris come on, text to speech, and you're out the door with more. Message has been sent. It's not.